Hello everyone, welcome to my opinion on a deck, an unboxing that I didn't want to buy, the Realmstone Raiders Rivals deck. The latest one to come out, and well, it's a bit of a you cycle your cards to score objective style of deck. We'll see it in a moment in a ploy card. But why didn't I want to buy it? It's because, well, I was like, why the hell do I want to cycle through my cards and don't play them in the hope that I get other objectives afterwards? So that's sound a bit of a bad concept, not worked out well concept for me. Until I realized, while I was looking through the war scroll for the Knights of the Crown, that hell, maybe I can do something with this deck, and I'm building a list at the moment. If I play it with the Knights of the Crown and their objective manipulation shenanigans, because if you can place the cards that you need on top of your deck, or the ones that you don't need to the bottom in your objectives, and you do the same with this, maybe something useful can be made out of this. So the icon of the set is a flamey hand grabbing a piece of emberstone. But yeah, we'll see through the cards itself briefly. And well, all the things that you read online already about the deck is true. It's a hard ploy. But there is now also this thing. If you raid a card, you can play and everything you want, and you got like Ploy Master, the Rack and Ruin objective that says when if you play a ploy card 3 times in a row. And now the recent fact by G-Dub said van, on the question van when is a card actually considered played is the moment it was revealed. So yeah, you're gonna reveal a lot of cards in this deck, like 10 per turn and everything goes well. So let's have a quick look. A sure bet, pretty easy. 3 or more attack dice for revealing. So you always have to take into account, you have to score these most of the time by revealing cards and then something additional. So most of the objectives are basically harder than there are basic counterparts in other decks. So even that's not speaking to the benefit of why the hell should you take this deck over Countdown to Cataclysm. So if you raid it 2 or more times this battle round and there are no enemy fighters in friendly territory, sheer impossible to score. Unless you have it in your first turn and they didn't charge right into your half. So yeah, critical risk, this was okay. You needed a crit in your attack roll, but you won that anyway with the Knights of the Crown, so okay. Emberstone Stash, good one. 4 or more different Emberstone cards this battle round, and that's what I said, this is like one of the cards that you can play with the Knights of the Crown, because you can put it on top if you see you're gonna make it, or shove it to the bottle. Hoarder's Hovel, this one is basically the card I wanted to build the deck around. So that's gonna be the linchpin of the deck that I'm building. Not gonna reveal too much about it yet, because I know my friends are watching. Invade, wow, that's doable. Looted Realmstone, nothing wrong about this one. So 2 or more different Emberstone cards, but yeah, that's even doable with the Archer on the Knights of the Crown. So he has or the flying ranged people. So yeah, that's all doable. Pillage, okay. Rage Rock Strike. That's if you reveal one of the cards that you raided, so that's also pretty easy scoreable if you are going down the raiding route. So that means that you have a deck that you have to rely heavily on the ploys in this deck and upgrades, and not too many from the other ones, or you will be flipping those to the bottom. So that's a bit of a risk, because the upgrades and deploys for this one aren't that great. Reckless Gambit, also a pretty cool one. Rouse Violence is also another card that I really like from this deck. Again, saying from this deck, because well, there are some better alternatives in other decks as well. So, but this one has score in end phase if the number of treasure tokens on the battlefield is equal to or less than the number of Emberstone cards you raided this battle round. Now, considering that if you play a bit aggressively, you can raid like 5, 6, 7 cards a turn. Yeah, not too much problem. Ambush, nothing spectacular. Angered Focus is one of those Emberstone ploys, so these are the icons that you need to be able to play them immediately if you reveal them. Yeah, it's basically an objective holding thing. Step ahead, another ploy. Pick a friendly fighter, neutral or enemy territory and push it 1 hex, and it must end closer to an enemy fighter, so that's nice. It's a push tech that you can play earlier than your power phase. Might be handy. Fortune Faded, friendly fighter to an adjacent, so the one thing that I see as a big benefit with this deck is that you can play the Emberstone ploys in addition to the ploys that you have in your hand. So if you have a bit of a good draw, you can have like 3 ploys non-Emberstone in your hand, and then these ploys are still in your deck, and then if you get to play them or reveal them, you can play them, so you can really overflood the game with ploy cards. The downside is these ploy cards aren't that great compared to some others, so pick an enemy fighter and give him a stagger token. That's nice, but it's like if you can draw it from the top of your deck, it's a nice bonus, but otherwise you got like in the Rack and Ruin deck, which is still my personal favorite deck. You have the one where you can pick either 2 stagger tokens or a damage, so yeah. They're like always one notch behind of their equivalents. The Raiders Rapture, that's a domain that allows you to raid some more cards, so that's pretty good if you can play, if you play it, for my part, second turn. Because usually second turn is when the battle is decided the most. Premonition, you pick an objective card from your hand, put it on the bottom of your objective deck and draw a new one. So again, together with the Knives of the Crown manipulation, you can actually see what the top one is. Then play this card in the power phase, grab that top one if it was one that you're really gonna score easily, and just score it. So it's a great one to play in like the final power step before you have the end phase, so to cycle out one. It's not, you don't discard the objective, so you will have it back in the end as well. So this one is one of those really good cards from the deck, but they're far and few between. So you got a Breach one that can do an extra damage. Brightstone Vigor, it's a bit of the same. If the damage restricted of the used weapon is greater than the save, you can heal the attacker and then discard this. Now, this is one of those cards, just like the Armor Piercer. With the Knives of the Crown, they don't have big attack stats, so it's gonna work early in the game, but it's gonna be dead cards near the end of the game. So, Call to Power, that's a pretty cool upgrade. So, allows you to draw more cards, and more cards is always good. Emberstone Edge, it's an upgrade which gives you +1 attack dice if you raid it in the same phase. But still, for 2 glory, you got a 1 range and then 3 hammer dice for 1 damage. Nah. Bit weak for 2 glory. Great Fortitude, it's a classic because they have the full suit of the classic cards, so that's a bit of a shame. Because they're not Emberstone upgrades, so you don't have that many. Great Speed, Great Strength, Keen Eye, and then you've got another one, and this one is pretty cool. Reforged 8. So you got a search ability, Salvaged Arms. Immediately after a successful attack made by this fighter, you can pick 1 Emberstone upgrade from your power discard pile and add it to your hand, and then discard this one. So yeah, you can get the armor back, or you can get the piercer back. But yeah, that's a quick look at the Realmstone Raiders deck. So I would rate it somewhere mid 6 out of 10 scoring. And as I said, I think something might be doable with the Knives of the Crown, but I already, well, analyze is a big word. I already had a look, and I must say it will depend a lot on the card draw ability of the knives, whether or not the deck will work, and on the ability to roll the Forgotten Wisdom, so the one that manipulates your objective deck. Because if you don't roll that frequently with the Knights of the Crown, I am afraid you might be in for a very frustrating game of wrong card, I don't need this. On the other hand, if it works, it can become spooky pretty quick. But yeah, I'll see how that goes. It's gonna be a deck that I'm gonna try out somewhere after the summer vacation, maybe at an event, or well, I will try it at an event just to. Well, just because the Knights of the Crown are so cool, and we're just gonna try and use this deck and see if we can do anything with it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.